You see the headlines: global tech shortage, entertainment industry seeks new voices, healthcare systems at breaking point. Behind these stories is a wave of Filipino talent quietly reshaping industries worldwide. Today, we're exposing the unspoken resistance to Filipino success. 10 countries, 10 fears, one undeniable truth. What are they so afraid of? Let's find out. K-pop is more than just a genre, it's a global phenomenon, a meticulously crafted machine that churns out stars, trends, and cultural waves that ripple across continents. From Seoul's bustling streets to the farthest corners of the world, K-pop's influence is undeniable, shaping music, fashion, and even language. But behind the glitz and glamour, there's a complex story unfolding. Filipino talent has become a key ingredient in this global recipe. Their passion, discipline, and raw ability have caught the attention of Korean agencies, who scout far and wide for the next big star. Filipino trainees bring a unique flavor, blending soulful vocals, sharp dance moves, and a magnetic stage presence that can't be ignored. These idols don't just participate, they elevate. Their voices soar in harmonies, their dance lines are crisp, and their charisma electrifies audiences. Yet despite their undeniable contributions, Filipino idols often find themselves in the background, rarely stepping into the spotlight as the face of a group. Even as they stand shoulder to shoulder with their peers, Filipino idols are often placed at the periphery, visible but not always celebrated. The industry values their skills, but hesitates to let them lead. The unspoken rule? K-pop must remain distinctly Korean, even as it welcomes the world. Agencies want the talent, but not the influence. It's a delicate balance, embracing diversity while fiercely protecting the brand's identity. This isn't about malice, it's about maintaining a carefully curated image that fans expect and the industry relies on. Subtle limits are set: less screen time, fewer lines, and always labeled as the global member. These boundaries are rarely discussed openly, but they shape every opportunity and every performance. It's not about exclusion, but about brand protection. The fear is that too much change could dilute what makes K-pop unique in the eyes of its core audience. For Filipino idols, this means working twice as hard for half the spotlight. They train longer, perfect every move, and strive to prove themselves in an industry that both welcomes and limits them. There's an unspoken fear within the industry that Filipino talent, if fully embraced, could redefine what K-pop means. It's a paradox. The very diversity that fuels K-pop's global rise is also what the industry fears could change its core identity. The ceiling is real, and it's set not by lack of talent, but by a deep-rooted fear of change. As K-pop continues to evolve, the question remains: will the industry let its global stars truly shine, or will the paradox persist? In Southeast Asia, Vietnam and the Philippines are locked in a digital rivalry. Vietnam's top-down system is disciplined, but the Filipino model is flexible, English-speaking, and globally attuned. The fear that Filipino adaptability will outpace Vietnam's structure. Investment pitches, regional forums, each nation tries to prove it's the better bet. The real anxiety in Hanoi that Filipino chaos could be the secret to long-term innovation. It's a race, and Vietnam fears being left behind. In Japan, tradition and group harmony rule. Filipino professionals bring adaptability and initiative, clashing with rigid corporate norms. They solve problems fast, but skipping steps is seen as breaking order. Invisible ceilings appear. Filipinos are praised, but rarely promoted to leadership. The fear? That Filipino efficiency could challenge centuries of Japanese tradition. So, skills are welcomed, but the status quo is fiercely protected. Quiet excellence meets quiet resistance. Taiwan's tech industry relies on Filipino engineers to stay ahead, but every Filipino trained is a future competitor, armed with world-class knowledge. This creates anxiety. Will today's workforce become tomorrow's rival? Subtle protectionism emerges, stricter visas, management roles reserved for locals. Taiwan needs Filipino talent, but fears the consequences of nurturing it. They're sharpening a sword that could one day point back at them. In Kuwait, the kafala system controls migrant workers, but Filipinos bring resilience and community. They build support networks, share knowledge, and quietly defy isolation. This collective strength undermines the system's control. The fear isn't about work ethic. It's about Filipinos being too organized, too resilient. Their unity chips away at a system built on compliance. The real threat is a community that refuses to be broken. Filipino spirit quietly challenges the foundations of control. In the UAE, Filipinos are the silent architects of progress. Every day, they help build cities from the ground up, laying bricks, designing towers, and shaping skylines that define the future of the region. Their hands and minds are behind the gleaming skyscrapers and bustling neighborhoods that make the UAE a global hub. Yet despite their vital contributions, they can never truly belong. Success is recognized and often celebrated. Filipino professionals receive awards, promotions, and heartfelt thanks. Their dedication is visible in every corner of the city, from luxury hotels to thriving businesses. But citizenship remains out of reach. No matter how long they stay, or how much they give, the door to permanent belonging is closed. Their visas are stamped with an expiration date, a constant reminder that their time here is borrowed. For many, the future always feels temporary. Families pack and unpack, never sure how long they'll call this place home. Every sunrise brings hope, but every sunset whispers uncertainty. Still, Filipinos create vibrant communities, businesses, and institutions. They open restaurants that serve the flavors of home, organize markets and festivals, and build support networks that help newcomers find their footing. In classrooms, churches, and neighborhoods, they redefine what it means to be an expatriate. The system expects them to be temporary, but Filipinos quietly plant roots, teaching, nurturing, and giving back to the society around them. The unspoken fear that their growing presence forces a conversation about belonging and identity that the UAE isn't quite ready for. Their stories challenge the boundaries between guest and resident. With every building they raise, every home they renovate, Filipinos create a sense of permanence in a place designed for impermanence. Their homes are filled with laughter, memories, and dreams. Even if a suitcase always sits ready by the door, they transform empty apartments into warm, lived-in spaces, making the unfamiliar feel like home. Through resilience and hope, Filipinos blur the line between guest and resident. They show that even on borrowed time, it's possible to build a future, and to belong, if only for a while. In Australia, Filipino success is rewriting the immigrant story. As Filipino-Australians rise, entrepreneurs, academics, leaders, they face the tall poppy syndrome. Subtle resistance appears, dismissive comments, media focus on problems, discomfort with rapid progress. Their strong communities and ambition challenge the status quo. The fear? That Filipino success sets a new standard, forcing Australia to re-examine its own complacency. They're not just fitting in, they're raising the bar. With China, the resistance is geopolitical. China uses economic pressure, but Filipino global success projects soft power Beijing can't control. Every Filipino achievement abroad is a small act of defiance, building a reputation independent of government or military might. China fears a decentralized, people-driven influence it can't contain. The Filipino diaspora creates global goodwill that no amount of pressure can erase. The real power is in the people, not the politics. Malaysia and the Philippines are more than just neighbors separated by a narrow stretch of sea. Their histories, cultures, and economies are deeply intertwined, creating a relationship that is as close as siblings, complete with all the warmth, rivalry, and occasional friction that comes with it. Over the years, these two nations have found themselves in a constant dance of cooperation and competition, each watching the other's moves with a mix of admiration and caution. In the Malaysian state of Sabah, Filipino communities have become an essential part of daily life. They power local markets, work in plantations, and contribute to the vibrant multicultural fabric of the region. Yet, their presence also stirs up complex emotions, concerns about job security, the sharing of resources, and questions of national identity. For many Malaysians, the influx of Filipino workers is both a blessing and a source of anxiety. These tensions often spill over into politics. Under pressure from citizens worried about unemployment and cultural change, Malaysian authorities sometimes launch crackdowns on undocumented migrants. Yet the irony remains. The local economy, especially in sectors like construction and agriculture, depends heavily on Filipino labor. It's a delicate balancing act, enforcing the law while keeping the economy running smoothly. Beyond labor, Malaysia and the Philippines are locked in a broader contest for regional influence and foreign investment. Both countries are eager to attract global investors, modernize their cities, and become economic powerhouses in Southeast Asia. Each success in Manila or Kuala Lumpur is closely watched by the other, fueling a sense of friendly but fierce competition. The Philippines, with its youthful population and entrepreneurial spirit, is seen by some as a rising force that could shift the region's economic balance. This dynamism inspires both hope and apprehension in Malaysia, where leaders and citizens alike wonder how to keep pace with their energetic neighbor. Adding to the complexity is the long-standing dispute over Sabah. This territorial issue, rooted in colonial history, continues to cast a shadow over diplomatic relations, fueling nationalist sentiments on both sides and making cooperation even more challenging. In the end, the relationship between Malaysia and the Philippines is the ultimate sibling rivalry, a blend of deep respect, shared aspirations, and underlying tension. It's a story of two nations forever linked, navigating the fine line between partnership and competition. In Saudi Arabia, Filipinos are essential to the economy, but face strict limits. The kafala system and conservative norms keep them as outsiders no matter their contribution. Filipinos run critical infrastructure, but integration is off limits. The fear isn't competition, it's cultural influence. As Saudi Arabia modernizes, it wants change on its own terms. The Filipino community represents an unpredictable variable in this transformation. They're vital, but always at arm's length. 10 nations, 10 fears. Filipino success sparks resistance, but also progress. This friction is the price of change. The Filipino spirit adapts, innovates, and endures. Resistance only sharpens their resolve. They're not just joining the global economy, they're transforming it. Share your story in the comments. This is Matrix Hub. Stand strong, be proud, and keep rising. The world is watching, and the future is Filipino.